Good afternoon and welcome to this unrehearsed little piece of video, just telling you about what I've just been up to and what I've actually got. So I've just been for a trip out today, and I've picked up a few things related to my rather fascinating hobbies. The first one of those items is a early 80s high television, possibly even late 70s, little portable, which is rather nice. We'll be having a look at that one later. And after that, which was basically a little trip out to Reading, I then took a trip to one of my favourite scrapyards in this part of the country. It's a place called Haynes of Challow, which is in a place called Challow, which is just outside of Wantage. You can get to it if you get off at the second Swindon junction, if you're coming from Wales side of the M4. So if you come in, if you go in eastbound on the M4, and you can get there if you come off at that junction, head up towards the A420 to Oxford, turn off to the signs that say Wantage, which is on a little roundabout, and follow that road down, and you will eventually go past Haynes of Challow on your left. So in the yard today they had a lot of fairly sort of recent stuff within sort of the last 10 years or so. I managed to grab a couple of rear boot top spoilers from K11 Micras, a couple of those in two different shades of blue. Why I grabbed them, I don't know, they're quite rare. Well, they're not that rare, but they're sort of rare, and they're quite nice to have. So those will probably be cleaned up and sold on to fellow micro owners. They also had in the yard as well, which was quite sad to see, a 1986 Daimler 3.6, basically the XJ40 version of the Daimler. And off of that, I wanted to grab the radiator, but grabbing the radiator would have meant getting onto the floor, which was very dusty, and I didn't have the appropriate clothing to be able to do so. So I did not do that. But I did grab off of it a very, very clean rear bumper mount for one of the rear bumper blade things. It sort of goes down the side of the car at the rear. So I grabbed that, and also got a door mirror cover for an Almira in 16 Almira, and also picked up a passenger side door trim for a Micra Inspiration. So late facelift but pre-coil pack K11. A friend of mine needed the door card because their door card is not in the best condition, and the one I picked up doesn't actually look too bad, so I grabbed that as well. So we're now on the way back along the M4, heading westbound, doing a nice steady 70 miles an hour at 3,000 RPM. Got the aircon on in the Micra, which is very refreshing, especially on a hot day like this. And just passed in Richard Lovett, Maserati and Ferrari dealer. It's actually Dick Lovett, but I've got this theory that because he's on the Dick Lovett branch or brand, also based in Bristol, I have this sort of feeling that his name is actually Richard Lovett, but because you know, he lives in Bristol or possibly comes from Bristol, I don't know, they call him Dick Lovett, or he name's Dick Lovett. So I just, whenever I sort of have to go near or to one of his garages for anything, I sort of tend to say I'm off down to Richard Lovett. And that particular branch of Richard Lovett dealt with Maserati and Ferrari, which is very nice. I wonder if they got any Quattroporte 5s in for sale that they want to get rid of cheaply, say a nice low mileage Duo Select model. I'd be quite happy with that. Possibly in a nice deep metallic green, that would be lovely. I would even take it if it needs a new clutch and release bearing. so long as it's not high mileage and not rusty underneath. So, all in all, a very successful scrapyard trip. I cannot recommend Haynes of Challow highly enough. Their prices are very reasonable, and to be honest with you, it's in a lovely part of the countryside. You can make a day of it. They also have, if you're not into the whole scrapyard side of things, they got furniture reclamation, no, building reclamation, old furniture from some house clearances, a certain amount of gardening supplies, and loads of other bits and bobs. So it's quite a nice little trip out, and there are, from memory, quite a few nice pubs in the area, and that particular part of the country is, being in Berkshire, is very well to do, very sort of, very quite posh, very pleasant. And yeah, that was my trip out. So accompanying this video there is a little how-to on how to remove one of those top boot lip spoilers from a Micra if you find one in the scrapyard. And I've actually found it's probably best to pick a scorching hot day to do so, like this, because it makes all the sealant that is holding the spoiler on, as well as the two 10mm bolts, nuts that hold it on as well, makes the sealant nice and soft and pliable, so you can actually, with a little bit of persuasion, just peel it off with your hands, which is quite good, once you've obviously got rid of those two 10mm. And yeah, that's it for today. So thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully you'll find the next part of the video useful. Thank you. So if for any reason you need to remove your top boot lip spoiler, well, I don't know if you call it a boot lip, the boot top, it's accessible via two plastic lugs in the actual boot frame itself, and it comes out with, or it's held in rather, by two 10mm nuts. This seems to have been the case with each one that I've come to so far. Because it's had the little cap over the top of it, there shouldn't be any rust or anything on the actual threads themselves, but obviously it probably would be a good idea just to apply a bit of penetrating oil before you actually get started. Ideally, and I didn't have it with me as I only bought my small toolkit with me, you would need a deep reach 10mm socket to get to that. What I've actually done here is I've used a standard socket, just half inserted the extension bar just to start it off, and then I can obviously remove the rest of it this way. Now, if you're doing this in the winter, what it'll be worth actually doing is just heating the area around the spoiler first, because it is held on with some adhesive tape, similar sort of stuff that's used on the side strips on the car, if you have rubbing strips on the side of the vehicle. And it's quite sticky, but if you apply some heat to it, it does make it sort of more pliable, more easily removable. Reasons why you may want to remove the spoiler: you may want to take it off to respray it, or you just may want to remove it completely, say for example if you're selling the car and want to keep it, or if you just don't like the look aesthetically that the spoiler provides. So what I'm actually doing here is I actually started this on a very hot day. It was about sort of 30 degrees when I was actually doing this. Lovely warm summer's day, very hot. And the car had been sort of out in the sunshine for, well, quite a while actually, as it's in a scrapyard, but the car had been outside for a while. And as you can see from here, once I'd got both those 10mm bolts off, or nuts off, I was actually able to gently prise the spoiler away. As you can see there, it just suddenly popped off. Now you notice that the fittings have actually got a little plastic rubberized weathering sort of bit on them, so it sort of protects the surrounding metalwork. And once that's off, you can obviously clean that up, fill in the holes, or clean up your spoiler, remove the adhesive material, and then obviously sort of go from there. And I've got to say, that's it for today. If you have enjoyed this, please don't forget to subscribe and also hit that like button. And thank you very much for watching.